when a patient comes in, what do you want them to experience? When you come in, what do you want to witness amongst your team? When your office manager, when your staff, what do you want them to witness? Do you want them to witness gossip or not? Hello and welcome to another episode of the Physician Growth Accelerator, a show where we break down your private medical practice systems into vitals, give you the tools to diagnose root cause of what may be restricting your growth, and prescribe what to do about it. I'm your host, Zed Williamson, and I believe that every system is perfectly designed to get the result it gets. And I want you to wrap your head around the freedom of that statement, because once you own it, that means all we need to do is identify what needs to change in the system to get the result we want. And this relates to business, to personal life, to everything, your patients and how they feel. Everything is a system. And many times we treat the system as it is what it is. And so we put our eyes down and we think that we can't do anything about it. And I just believe that's simply not true. Let's tweak the system. So I want to talk about something that comes up a lot in conversations with physician business owners. And it's a frustration. It feels unavoidable. It's drama. In office, drama. Gossip, the interaction of humans in the place of business and how it affects business. Now, what's interesting is there are many people who maybe even when I said those words, you thought about your practice, and that's when you realized that it exists at a pretty high rate. Because what's funny is that it is so common, drama and office gossip is so common in practices that it almost just becomes, well, it's part of the landscape. It is what it is. And we don't even realize how bad it is. So even when I bring it up, you might be going, oh, yeah, that is, it's a little tough. Well, the thing is, it's more than just the aspect of drama existing in the practice. It affects the practice in so many other ways because it reduces the ability for your team to row in the same direction. It reduces the ability of your team to provide excellence to your patients. And no matter if you're aware of it or not, your patients are aware of it. They see it. They get the feeling when people are around each other and it's just that drama-filled office. And you might be believing today, Zed, look, you're talking, unicorns and pots of gold at the end of the rainbow. There's no such thing as an office without drama. There's no such thing of an office without gossip. And maybe it's true if we want to measure it at zero. But I absolutely believe that you can have an organization where drama and gossip is so minimal that it does not affect your business. Actually, what it does is it positively drives the lack of drama, positively drives your business excellence and success. So how do we create that? Well, first of all, let's challenge our own belief about this concept that it is the way it is. If we say, and maybe even say out loud if you're in a place to do that, say, my office has drama because it is designed to create it. And I mean the system that is my practice. It is designed to create drama. And if you state that, it's just going to put you in a position to be able to absorb some of the topics today for you to be able to put into place so that you can remove that from your office. So let's start at this concept. Why does this even exist? Well, our brain is very commonly in a position where it's trying to keep us safe. It's protecting us. And sometimes our brain isn't very good at really uncovering what is a true danger. And so let's say you have employees and they're dealing with home life, the stresses of home life. Maybe they're rushing around in the morning, going crazy. They get to the office. They're already at this state of kind of fight or flight, high level of stress, because their brain is overreacting. Frankly, it's just overreacting to what they have to deal with. And so then there's this camaraderie that exists in an office, and whatever is allowed will become law. And so what you'll tend to hear, is you'll tend to hear this thing spiral out of control of someone talk about some piece of drama, which then brings up someone else's piece of drama. And it turns into well, I got this and I got this and I got this, and they better never do that. And I can't believe this. And we start to talk about how we're feeling attacked all the time. And you might be thinking, well, yeah, that's it. But I'm not a psychologist. I'm not going to have sessions where we help people not feel attacked. I get it. And you shouldn't. We're all adults. We should be able to deal with what's going on. So how do we tweak it? First of all, the concept that you're operating a system that creates it, I want you to own that in the sense of you're not doing anything to remove it. And on the opposite side of that means you are creating it. And that might sting a little bit. And you might say, well, no, I'm not. And I urge you to own the side of when you do something, that means you're doing it. If you don't do something, well, you're allowing the other thing to be done. Hope that makes sense. But if people come into the office and gossip and drama is allowed to exist, you're telling them that's what you want. So imagine going around every day, and when it's calm and settled, you go, hey, we need some drama around here. Come on, let's spice things up. Let's get some gossip going. Let's maybe have a little, bad interaction. Maybe someone yell at each other. You would never do that, right? But what we don't do is we don't actually ever state that that's not allowed or it's not part of who you are as a business. Are you a private practice leader dealing with team drama, growth headaches, or just trying to keep your head above water? Introducing the Physician Growth Accelerator membership, a free resource for our podcast listeners like you to get real solutions. Inside, you'll find exclusive materials, free courses, bonus podcast content, and live events, all designed to help your practice grow. It's free for now, so don't wait. Visit physiciangrowthaccelerator.com and click members to join today. So let's start here with step one. First of all, identify what you want to witness in your practice. And it doesn't need to be a gigantic, book written on what you need to see or, a 30-item list, but just bullet point when a patient comes in, what do you want them to experience? When you come in, what do you want to witness amongst your team? When your office manager, when your staff, what do you want them to witness? Do you want them to witness gossip or not? Do you want them to witness smiles, positivity, complimenting, curiosity, asking questions? State those down, because if you've never told anybody those things, then what you have is a silent, unmet expectation. And that might hit you right there a little bit, right in the gut, right when I said that, is you go, oh man, I actually have a few of those. Got it. No worries. It's normal. You're in the norm. But that silent, unmet expectation, you tend to just push it down or ignore it until it blows up and then you blow up. But let's just talk about it. So you have a meeting with your staff and you go, here's the behaviors that I think we can all agree on that we want to see in the office. And then here's the behaviors that we don't want to see. And so let's work as a team to remind each other. So when you see this behavior that you don't want, let's call it out. Let's be okay with it. And if I do this behavior, point it out to me. And let's just make it this thing we discuss. And that'll help remove some of the deflection or defensiveness that exists in the office. Because right now, what happens is someone's doing work, and then someone comes in and goes, hey, you're doing that wrong. They probably meant that to be a statement to help the person. And the person's like, well, no, I'm doing it right. I'm doing it the way you told me. And they're like, no, I told you this way. And we get into this goofy argument. And here's the thing. Both people are speaking the truth because they're speaking from their own perspective. And that's where this conflict comes from, is when I only say my truth is the only truth, then I'm unable to accept your truth. And this is where gossip and drama starts. So in the office, you say, here's what we want to witness. When people make a request, I want to see people jumping to help them. If we find out that we can do something better and someone tells you how to improve, I want you to thank them. Show appreciation that they're thinking about the good of the team. And it just requires this consistent little itty bitty nudge to remind people this is who we are. And you can get to the point where if someone acts in a certain way, you can say, look, that doesn't fit this organization. And if that's how you have to be, that's cool. It just can't be here. And the reason is because it will drag everyone else down. The drama and the gossip will spiral out of control. It is rarely ever real. People typically feel as if they are harmed. They're usually not harmed from things going on in the office. And they've created a habit. They go home and they talk to their spouse. You wouldn't believe what Jenny said to me today, blah, blah, blah. And you just start elevating it. And when the office just allows it to be, which means you're promoting it, it makes it so it can get louder and louder and louder over time. Now, you might be thinking, Zed, this is crazy. Maybe it sounds good, but I don't see how this would work. Well, just replace drama or gossip with any other thing. Let's say all of your staff came in covered in garbage. Just looks like they ran through dumpsters all morning. You wouldn't just go, yeah, I guess that is the way it is. Hey, when you dress that patient's wound, try not to bump it with that banana peel hanging from your eyebrow. That's kind of a ridiculous visual, but there is no difference. If they're coming in completely disgusting and full of disease, you would not want them interacting with your patients or each other. Okay? Well, drama and gossip is just the mental version of that. And it's based in belief. And we are in control of it because we're in control of our beliefs. But as the leader of the business, if you say it's okay for people to come in covered in garbage to treat our patients, then they're going to. And I know you're not saying it's okay, but when you don't do anything about it, when you witness the drama and you just kind of go the other way, or your office manager participates or maybe goes the other way. This is a team sport. Business is a team sport. It's about getting together, realizing that there's part of our brain that wants us to feel protected. And sometimes it thinks we're getting attacked when we are not getting attacked. And office drama is one of those scenarios. And it's up to you as the leader to set the expectation of what is allowed. So say, no garbage. Here's what we must witness. When we interact with each other, this is the way we must be. That's who we are. And create some pride around that. That's okay. And you will see that drama and gossip is not unavoidable. It's not just a piece of the puzzle that exists in the world of private medical practices. And it is so powerful when you can remove that from your organization. It just frees up so many other constraints. I mean, just think about your practice. Rewind last week, and there's zero drama, zero gossip. How great that would feel to you, to your staff, and your patients. So I hope you're able to take some ideas out of today. If you ever have questions about implementing stuff like this, please feel free to reach out. If you ever want to check out your vitals, go to physiciangrowthaccelerator.com. Click on Vitals. There's a questionnaire for you to see where you stand on the vitals of your practice. And we'll see you next time on the Physician Growth Accelerator. Bye.